Well, good morning. Today, I'm obviously not out in the woods. I'm going to do a little scientific experiment. I'm going to check out the effectiveness of my Reflectex sleeve to keep my water warm. So come on, let's see how good a job it'll do. So you can see I have 3 water storage units. 2 of them are insulated thermoses and 1 is just a standard Nalgene bottle. Additionally, I have a sleeve that I made out of Reflectex. The goal is to see how much that Reflectex actually helps. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got enough water in this pot. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. When the water is boiling, I will fill these 3 containers. The container on the left here is an Ozark Trails thermos. The center one is a Hydro Peak thermos. Now, these 2 are probably not really equivalent, but I would say the Hydro Peak is probably the better of the 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Ozark Trails thermos to be my test case. The Hydro Peak will be a control, and then the Nalgene will be a secondary control with no insulation whatsoever. I will take all 3 of these and I will put them in a freezer. I was going to put them outside because it's plenty cold out to freeze it, but I realized that I won't have a consistent temperature, and since today the goal is to do science, we need to control all the variables the best we can. So, let's get some water boiling. You know what they say, a watch pot never boils, so. All right, the water is boiling, so now I got to pour it into my containers. So this is going to be a little tricky to film. Hopefully I won't spill too much. All right. So according to the probe thermometer, water is probably right around 200. It cools quickly when it stops boiling. Okay, right about 198, 200 degrees. Put the lids on them. I'll screw those down better in a moment. And we got to move these to the freezer. But I'm going to take the Ozark Trails one, and that one is going to go in my sleeve. So let's see how it does. All right, so this is the deep freeze in my garage. So I'm thinking this probably maintains a temperature of about 25 degrees, but I'll put a thermometer in there And we will find that out for sure when it's time to open these up and check them again. Okay, so according to the thermometer that I used, it's right about 31 degrees in the freezer. It's not as cold as I thought, but it was a good, consistent 31. It might have been colder to put them outside, but whatever. And you can see by looking at it that this is frozen solid. Now, it's not as bad as previous experiments because the bottom didn't bow out. Of course, I also left a little bit of room at the top for expansion, which may have contributed to that. But I've got my probe thermometer here, the one that said it was between 195 and 200 degrees. Let's see how the thermos did. So according to this, the temperature in the thermos still going down a little bit. Okay, so it looks like the thermos temperature is 52.8. So significant loss. It's cool water. Not cold, but not hot either. So now, the moment of truth. How did the cheaper thermos fare inside the Reflectex sleeve? Now remember, the Hydra Peak is a better thermos, I think. But the Ozark Trails thermos was in the sleeve. So let's see how it did. Looks like we're almost at, yeah, there we go, 75 degrees. So significantly warmer with a cheaper thermos. So if you're worried about your water freezing, they don't weigh hardly anything. I mean, it's mostly air. And it's made with duct tape and Reflectex that you can buy at Home Depot. So it's definitely something that will help to make your water last longer. You could even put the Nalgene in one, and during the day you could, keep it in your pack in the Reflectex and keep it from melting or from freezing. And then at night you could take it out, put it in a Ziploc bag after filling it with hot water, and put it in the foot box of your sleeping bag and help keep your feet warm. But the Reflectex, it does the job. It does a pretty good job. So I hope you found this little scientific experiment interesting. It's a little different from what I usually do. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Do you like this kind of content? Does this interest you? I'm just trying to find ways to keep my subscribers happy while my hiking is so limited. So have a blessed day. Azimuth out.